We now interrupt today's regularly scheduled programming for the Collective Perspective Special Edition live on location at Occupy Wall Street. We're now joined by Collective Perspective participants Matthias Lovemotor, Caleb Banas, Tegan Hartman, and Don Marie.
I am with Caleb. Don and Tegan are helping move the Occupy Wall Street Journal currently. They volunteered their time to help.
All right, and you guys got there Friday at what time?
We must have arrived a little after 10 o'clock.
And what was the scene like when you got there?
When we got here, it was raining. It was beginning to rain. We entered the plaza, and the first thing we noticed was that everybody was sleeping on the ground in what I've been calling tarp burritos. But there's a lot of morale control as a tactic by the police department, and they're not allowing people to erect shelters which would actually keep them warm or dry. We tried to sneak our own shelter up using a rope on a tree, and we were immediately beset by 4 white shirt commander type policemen who were kind of irate right off the bat, telling us that they had already told us not to do this, and they were threatening us. So we assured them that we had just gotten here and had requested information from one of the blue shirt police officers who said that he wasn't here to control how we set up our shelters, and he turned a blind eye to it. But immediately following, the white shirt commanders showed up and told us that there is a problem with it and we have to take it on right away.
And so the result of that, as Caleb had told me, was at least one person being taken away for hypothermia, correct?
My account was there were 2. There's a panel truck here labeled WikiLeaks Top Secret Mobile Information Collection Unit. I have approached the owners of the truck. They're not affiliated with WikiLeaks at all, but there are a bunch of people living in the back of the box truck, and apparently one of them caught hypothermia last evening as well, and they were trying to recuperate him in the back of the truck. There was also a gentleman down closer to the stock market building itself who had hypothermia, and I believe they took him away on a stretcher in an ambulance.
How did you all avoid having similar circumstances?
Well, luckily there were 4 of us, and despite not being able to tie our tarp to the tree, we managed to find a marble table in the plaza that was near a small sitting bench, also marble, and we found a 2-gallon container of water and used it as an anchor on one side of the bench, and another gallon of water jug on the other side, which connected. We just created a shelter using water jugs as urban tent stakes. The tarp that I brought was quite large, so we noticed there was another marble table next to ours, and they're quite small, maybe about a 4 foot by 4 foot footprint, and there were 4 people taking residence under one of these marble tables, and they had constructed a shelter, a barrier from rain with cardboard boxes that were propped up, and we put the tarp over them as well, because the tarp was so large. They were very gracious for that, and later that evening they poked their heads out from under their table and joined us in a discussion of what was going on, and thanking us for covering them with the tarp.
Now, where you are right now, are you you're at a media center, and are you enclosed in like a phone booth type apparatus?
No, I'm actually standing on the steps right next to the corner of Broadway and Cedar. There's a Bank of America here, and a Brown Brothers Harriman building. We are at the most elevated point of it's not called One Liberty Plaza. It's called something Ducati Park. The media center is fairly busy right now. There seems to be about 3 to 4 other live feeds to locations that I haven't been able to track down at this point. They all seem to be part of the Occupy Wall Street organization, judging from the web pages that they're browsing and the information they appear to be posting. They're running an electrical generator because the police have also turned off the power to Ducati Park. So they're running a generator and putting out surge protectors so that people can plug in with their computers, charge their phones, charge their camera batteries, and deal with their electronic needs.
Well, I ask about if you were enclosed because it sounds very quiet.
Well, I kind of walked off to the edge of the gathering here so that we could talk clearly. But I am looking at a throng of, at this point, 400 to 500 people, I would say. And they're anything but silent. At the furthest end of the park from where we are, there were people chanting every day, every night, Occupy Wall Street. There was an impromptu class of Tai Chi to kind of help people wake up and work out the kinks from sleeping in the park. People have been walking around with warm pizzas, oatmeal, fruit basket, all kinds of food. The first thing we noticed, I guess, when we arrived here after the tarp burritos, we had a donation of some water and food, and we went over to the kitchen area. And the kitchen is very well stocked. They're obviously receiving a lot of donations from different sources. They've constructed a wall of food on one side about hip level high. We weren't even able to put the water on the ground because of the amount of food that was there already. We had to stack it on top of a box full of canned goods that was on top of a box full of canned goods. So everyone here is in fairly good spirits from my observation. In addition to the food that is located at the kitchen area, there seem to be people. We were gifted by one of the people that we sheltered last night a bunch of. That was the free hugs person going on. I don't know if you heard that. We were gifted a whole box of bagels and cheese this morning, which was really nice to wake up to. Sometime around 2 o'clock last night, after we'd constructed our shelter and started sort of mingling a little, somebody had walked by. A local cafe had donated 60 cups of hot coffee and 60 cups of hot tea, and people were walking around with these in boxes stacked 3 high. It was pretty phenomenal. Got Caleb a coffee. He loved it.
Yeah, I don't know how he would function, even in an Occupy protest. So obviously people are being very generous to you folks with the food and the water. From what you had told me about your experience arriving there last night and what had happened to a lot of people, could people maybe send tarps or blankets?
I would say bevy sacks and blankets would be a really good thing. There seem to be small groups of people camping together, so for them, tarps is a good thing. But I've also noticed that there's quite a bit of people that are out here by themselves, and I think that they have the most potential for illness and hypothermia because they are by themselves and unable to cuddle up with another group of people. So in my camping experience, I believe that bevy sacks would probably be the best item to be sending to these people. They have a station where they're handing out free dry socks as well, which is really nice. I don't know how well stocked they are, but from talking to different people, I know that that's a really